Okay, I'm on the roof looking at the fireplace, roof and fireplace. Just do a scan across. This is the south side of the roof. You can see the house is made of several components, several sections put together. Kind of see that there's these different levels, and it looks like there's pretty good aluminum siding here with a little bit of an overhang. I don't see flashing or should I retrofit anything in there? Can you have any suggestions on what you see? Should there be some caulk running? Can I do something to seal better here? It looks like they've got flashing on the side there going down. If I can keep the camera where I'm looking rather than just waving it. And now I'm gonna flip around and that's looking over to the other side. Some vents into the attic. Now I've got a question on, there was, in our living room where the fireplace is, there's an issue of water that happened before this last roofing job. As you can see, water would just go down there, and it seems like they have it pretty good, but would you recommend, even though it's not leaking now, should we try cutting down this fireplace since we really don't use it for anything, or just leave it? We're going to, in the next few days, I'm going to take out those 3 satellite dishes that we aren't using and caulk up the holes where they come out of. But that's the fireplace. This is video 4, leaky dining room window. Okay, this window, it's in our dining room, which you might guess. On a couple of the really heavy rains, it's leaked on the interior. And when it was leaking, we looked above here on the exterior. There was no sign of water coming down on the outside. I went up in the attic and there was no sign of water in the attic. I'm gonna go up, look at the top, look at the roof, and here's the eaves to the gutter and the roof up above. Look around there, come here, and I don't see anything that would cause it right here, except this gutter has little to no decline here. So I'm wondering if the gutter's filling up with water and going back behind. So I'm proposing that we'll take down this gutter and put more of a decline on it. This whole front drains through this, and the drain is hidden, it's buried under the driveway. Also, even though there's a little lip, on heavy rains, as you can see, it's tilted up quite a bit to get to the road. So when water comes down the driveway on heavy rains, we'll get water in here. So I'm proposing renting a concrete saw, and we cut a channel for a covered drain, an open drain with a grill on it, to take the water out. And at the same time, we'd go up and tilt this gutters more aggressively to this side, and then kick the water would kick out through the drain down here, and we'd be able to watch that. Video 5 is trim. In a bunch of places we have rotten trim, and in cases like this, one, do you recommend PVC trim? Just to get back out, that's at the side of the garage door. And what I always want to go and replace the whole thing, and you know, we're not talking about enough of it here that economically I want to cut corners. I want to do what's right, and so I don't have to come back and do it again recent. But here on the corners again, there's rotten spots that would make me want to change the whole thing. And I'm going to patch that spot. Here's trim on the back side of the house. And that has to come out, of course. And then here I'll officially ask you what you think I could do with this rotten siding behind my electric meter. And my electric panel, of course, is on the other side of that in the corner of the garage. The city will come and take down the power line. I've got to do that to trim these branches back. And while they do that, is there something I could do, or is this something I should call in a pro? Your suggestion would be highly valued. This is my back door, and it is not flashed. So of course I imagine I have to do that, and whether I do it over this window as well that's next to it. And then I have a question on this corner. It's like the sheeting ended, they don't have the siding meeting here. And is there a good solution? Should I just put something here, a rectangular piece, and a trim, and put it up, maybe squirt some foam back here, or paint that? Like your thought on how to handle that. This is a window on the north side of the house, and looks like the aluminum wrap around the window is gone. Is that tough to ask someone to make, or should I put in a piece of flashing, caulk it, paint it? What's a reasonable repair there that you think? Also, I have to tear out and replace this trim on this is our sunroom, and this room, it's a nice, it's bright room. There's a gutter, but it doesn't drain anywhere, and whether I need to put a downspout there, I imagine, and run it down so that the gutter isn't overflowing and then running down the side there. Don't know if you have a alternative idea, but again, this needs to be pulled off and replaced as well. And we're gonna pull off this cable and caulk that. But eventually, sometime later this summer, I want to put in a sliding glass door and replace these old windows. There's one new window, and the rest of these are just old beasts it's drafty as hell in the winter and rotten on the corners.